What's going on, YouTube? My name is Earthpower, and I'm here to interview a Mr. Corey Gaudreau, the newest member of Team Peach. How's it going, man?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing excellent.
So, guess we'll get this interview right underway. Why don't you tell us how you got into Kaijudo? How it all started.
Kind of an interesting story. I used to play Magic. I've been playing Magic since back like an Ice Age. We look today, it's like almost 20 years ago, which is pretty unbelievable. Kaijudo came out, and our local game store had the Direct Guide promos, and they handed them out. Like, we don't even know what this is. Like, whatever. But I just, like, slapped in my binder, took a look, look at it. I'm like, all right, cool. Some cool new game is coming out. Like, no idea what it was. I had no idea about Duel Masters. Had no idea it existed before. And then almost a year ago now, PAX's huge gaming convention that happens up in New England, right in Boston where I was living, my brother was going. And the Sunday, the last day, he goes, hey, do you want to go? I have a one-day pass. We can go. And there's a Kaijudo tournament. Remember that game that, like, we saw the cards for? I'm like, oh, yeah, that seems kind of cool. He's like, yeah, like, it's really easy to learn. Like, if you, like, people that play Magic can figure it out pretty easily. So I went to Kaijudo.com, learned all the rules, how to play, and watched a bunch of videos from your channel and CVH's channel, and just try to, like, figure out the game as quickly as possible in one night, basically. Showed up, met Pave there, too. And got top 4 like in the first tournament. Played like some like light water dark tempo-y kind of Neuron Lyra cool deck, which was pretty sweet. This is just when DSI just came out, and right away just like felt like this is a really cool game. I feel like I got to grasp it pretty quickly and just wanted to improve and do really well because organized play had just been announced as well. So yeah, it was pretty cool to kind of like play something new that was different from the same, last however many years of playing Magic. But
excellent. So you would say in the short time, I guess, that you've been playing, you'd say that you've done pretty well so far.
I like to think so. I mean, I certainly would have liked to do better. I had 3-3 at Champs, and I guess, qualified the first time. I really tried to go to Champs. My brother and I went to a KMC season 1, and we kind of
summer champs. Or?
Yeah. Well, for season 1, we went to one KMC in Poughkeepsie, and we didn't really have a very good experience with some of the people we met there, so we decided that we were going to leave and didn't really want to do anything. So we stopped playing Kaijudo for a really long time. Mm-hmm. And then right when season 2, like right towards the beginning of the middle of the season, David mentioned that our locals game on was going to have a KMC, and I was like, okay, this might be, maybe I'll get back into it, like, see, try it out again. David the week before qualified with Light Water Dark Tempo. We figured that'd be a really good deck to play, so we took that deck, cut the bottles, cut the 9 drops because I wanted a more streamlined, more consistent deck that wasn't so clunky in the 9s, because I felt like a lot of the power cards were staying away from the 9s, and wanted to play more Rasalkas and stuff like that, more tempo oriented. Managed to qualify for that, and then Dave and I had play tested for Champs. Did a lot of play testing, which was really cool, because that's what felt like I brought a lot of value to, because a lot of my friends still in the Pro Tour and stuff, and helped them play test, either draft and constructed for Magic Pro Tours. So we did pretty good. Dave top 8'd with the deck that we had built, the light dark Kalima deck, and I went 3-3. Didn't have as good of a day. Well, my match on camera though, which is the only thing that's important.
You say you didn't have that good of a day, but immediately following Champs, that's when we asked you to join Team Peach.
Yeah, exactly. So the tournament didn't go really as well as I planned, but getting to a point where all of a sudden, we're what I consider to be the best team in the entire game. All of a sudden, like, we want your team, and I'm just like, well, I don't even remember exactly what I said, because I don't think I even said anything. I was just like, yeah, I'm like, this sounds awesome.
You took a picture, we tweeted it, and
yeah, exactly. It was sweet. I think that's still my profile picture on Facebook to this day.
Nice.
It was really fun. Like, I've never seen somebody do like the little two like eyes things people do for faces. Like with someone like, I don't know, the two, what was this little thing called? Little carrot thing?
Carrot, yeah.
Yeah, 2 little carrot eyes. Like, that's the picture that like CVH is doing in it. Just like this little face. Like, I've never seen somebody do that in real life, and that was the first time I've seen it. So
nice.
I was like, oh, that's what that face means. So there it is.
So you joined our team, and you said you follow the team and all of that, and you follow teams. What does it mean for you to be on Team Peach? And I guess for other players out there who aren't on a team or are interested in trying to find a team, what's that like? I guess being on a team, what value does that bring to you as a player? And
I just think it was really cool right off the bat. Like, I think a lot of us like got along. We were talking about a bunch of like funny YouTube videos that we liked. We were talking about like Smash that like we all kind of had in common, and we're all just like kind of laughing about fart jokes and just like stupid stuff like that. That like I think that's the most important part of being on a team is like that synergy that you have, like being able to get along together, having a lot of similar views. And just like having fun, 'cause that's what it's all about. Like, Dave and I have a ton of fun whenever we play test, and we laugh and joke and stuff like that. But we know the times to, just sit down and get work done and figure out what we're going to play. And it's just really cool, especially since we're all kind of spread out. Resh is down in Texas, you guys are in Virginia Beach, we're up in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, despite every other claim that you've had.
That I make, yes.
That's where we are, but I don't know, it's just like to think that where I started was, learning the rules on Kaijudo and watching all your guys' channels, and you guys have been playing much longer and, knew everything from DM, and then all of a sudden on the same team as you guys, it's just like, it's unbelievable. It's pretty crazy. I still, to this day, every once in a while, I'm thinking, I can't believe that I'm playtesting and talking to these same guys all the time, so.
Well,
you can literally come from anywhere in this game. It's really cool, the fact that the game is so young, somebody that, is a nobody before can all of a sudden, be on the best team and helping people play test decks that are in the top 8 of champs.
Well, we're very happy to have you on the team. So, the meta's changing. We are about to have our new Holland PA. We're doing this interview the day before.
Yeah.
And
it smells like crap out here.
yeah, it smells
suck.
great. Oh my god.
Actually, the day after.
Oh, technically the day of.
Dave's that guy.
But
You would be.
the meta's changing. 5 Mystics is coming out at the end of next week. How do you expect, I guess, tell the people a little bit about your play style and how you expect that to change maybe with the new set and I guess gearing towards champs. What's the next 3 to 4 months look like for you?
So it's really weird because in Magic I love combo decks, the really convoluted ones that don't really win on the same typical axis that every other deck's, with attacking with creatures, getting your life total from 20 to 0. I kind of like the decks that are doing a bunch of different things, attacking on a different axis. And Kaijudo doesn't really have that. It's mostly the only way you can really win is breaking all your opponent's shields. So I've kind of, other decks that I've done well with have been the more tempo-oriented decks. I'm actually playing the 5 Civ control deck tomorrow just because we feel like it has pretty good matchups against most of the things against, it's going to be probably 80 people tomorrow, and you never know what we're going to play against. So as far as my play style, I like blue's my favorite color, just in real life. So I kind of like all the, the way what blue does as far as drawing cards and bouncing things along those lines. So you can see why I really like the new Rusalka, which is probably going to make probably the biggest impact of all the cards. It's tough to say what I'm going to play afterwards, though. I don't really know. I'd like to play something a bit more. I really want to play Neuron before it rotates out of Standard. So I think I'm going to try to, maybe something, with Rusalka and Neuron that just seems like a completely insane progression, being able to play that on 3 and 4. You just you guys can't get blocked, and you just ignore their blockers, which is pretty nice. 'Cause a lot of those decks are trying to hide behind blockers at the moment, so we'll see. I guess I don't really know what I'm exactly going to play, but I'd like to play Neuron at least once before it gets rotated out of Standard.
Okay, sounds good. So I guess to step away from Kaijudo for a little bit, tell the people, we heard that you play Magic. What else are you into, I guess, gaming-wise, and how does that, I guess, transition, I guess, a little bit to Kaijudo and other various
Not
ways
a lot
of
that
work?
translates to it. Those are the only 2 card games I play. In my off time, I play a lot of League of Legends. Not particularly super good. Not going pro anytime soon. Me and Gorby play. It's pretty fun. We just yell at each other at Skype and just it's just a fun game. It's huge. It's just something fun to do every once in a while. Play a game or 2 after work to kind of unwind. As far as gaming, that's really all I get to do now. I don't have an Xbox anymore. I don't really play any other games. My computer isn't very good for gaming anyway, but it's about all I have the time for. Because actually, even a funnier story, I got a new job recently at Peach New Media.
So I was going to ask about
which is really funny considering it just all worked out. All of a sudden everything, it's just because I was wearing my Team Peach wristband at the interview too, and they noticed it, and then I was just this is gonna be an interesting story, and I kind of just avoided the question for the most part. I was I'll tell them later. It's a bunch of 20-something-year-old women that are all gonna be there. I'm I play a bunch of card games with my friends that are from Virginia. And
Let's wait on that. Let's wait to talk.
I was I really want this job, so I'll just tell them later. I really don't want any kind of crazy things, but yeah, it's gonna be a sweet job. So I don't know. Kaijudo is mostly what I do outside of work.
Okay, so outside of gaming, you would say that's your main interest, or what else does Corey do on the average day?
I used to running stuff a lot, but I just don't do that anymore. I just did 10 push-ups and I'm super winded.
That video will be coming up after this, guys.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yes,
Crap.
whoops.
We'll put
The other one up first, I guess. So, or maybe Spencer did 10 push-ups and he's really winded.
Could have been.
I'm like Jay-Z in the verse. Cake.
Oh. Yeah. So you run any other, I guess, interests, various things?
You play sports.
I actually have softball coming up. It's not intramural, but it's out CBH.
That was inconspicuous. I was gonna crawl.
I would have loved. That would have been the funniest thing. It must have been like
I knew I'd knock over the tripod.
probably.
Probably.
I play football in the fall with a couple of group of my friends. I play softball in the spring. So once it's gonna be nice out, 'cause it's been. I know you guys have enjoyed the luxury of some nice days, but it's been like 11 degrees wrong in Boston for the last I don't know like 14 years. It feels like. I think I live north of the wall. If anyone gets that reference,
I got it.
for those of you home too.
Excellent. So I guess before we wrap all this up, I guess any words of wisdom you can leave us with, all the Kaijudo players out there. Just anything.
The biggest piece of advice I give to people is play a deck that you're comfortable with. If you're gonna so if you're like playing like competitively in a KMC or a local or something, play a deck you're most comfortable with, because right now there's just like a wide open, like so many different decks you can play, and there's so many different levels of players. And I've realized that the people that have done the best have been the ones that have been the most comfortable with their deck. You know, maybe if you're like a very aggressive player, you're like, oh, I'm gonna try this Haven deck out. Yeah, sure, go for it. But like, play what you feel you're the best at playing, not whatever you think the best deck is, because that's gonna give you the best shot and give you an edge over somebody else that maybe isn't as familiar with their deck. So pick a deck that you really like, you're very comfortable with, play a bunch of games with it, and that's typically the biggest piece of advice I give to people.
Excellent.
Well, thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
This is going to be it from us here. So, shout outs to yourself, Team Peach, all the fun stuff. Check out the social links below, the Facebook, the Twitter, all that fun stuff.
Wolfgang.
And I believe you're starting a channel.
Is that happening?
No.
Potentially? No. All right. Well,
Pave has a channel that we're going to try to get going at some point, but he's a lazy piece of crap. So.
You already have a channel.
well,
Yeah.
It's just like I have a channel. Follow my
Twitch your
channel.
eye.
Check out Spencer's channel. Some sweet stuff
Yeah,
on there
my-
that I've not seen yet, but I will right after this.
Yeah.
excellent.
Check out Alter Reality Games for bi-monthly articles.
Yes, you do write them all.
Yeah, I wrote an article a couple times.
Hey.
I'll write something again eventually. Maybe if we do well as KMC, you'll talk about it. Or maybe the next set we'll do a
Maybe we'll
revision of the top 10.
Maybe we'll just all talk.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
That'll be it from us here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out the social links below, as always. And hopefully, guys, we'll see you next time.
Next time.
Peach.
Cool. It wasn't recording that whole time.